Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a bit of a different video today. I'm going to have a chat about this new digital nomad visa that the government here in Spain has been talking about for a while now. And apparently in 2022, this visa is going to become a reality. So we'll have a bit of a chat about that today. Now this video is sponsored by NordVPN, and I'll tell you a little bit more about NordVPN during the video. So let's go. And another thing that has coincided with this digital nomad visa is a series of small towns here in Spain, or pueblos as they're called here, that want to attract digital nomads or people that can work from home. And we're going to go and visit one of those towns today. I'm going to go deep into Castilla-La Mancha, about an hour away from here. In fact, it's the closest village to where I am here in Madrid. So we're going to go and take a look at this village, travel down the highway and check out and see if it is a good place for people to work remotely. That is the question, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this digital nomad visa and why somebody would want to come and live in one of these pueblos here in Spain. So let's go. Okay, so I'm now in Castilla-La Mancha on my way to one of these small towns that is on the list of different towns here in Spain, pueblos, as I said before, that have signed up to try to attract digital workers, people that can work from home. And various places offer different incentives around the country. There's different incentives at an autonomous community level, at a regional level, and some of these places have gone out of their way to try to attract this type of worker. Now, as I also said, the digital nomad visa, which we imagine is going to be given the green light this year, 2022, the government's been talking about it for a while now, because here in Spain there hasn't really been a visa for this type of worker. In fact, it's been quite difficult over the years to work in Spain for various reasons. Obviously because Spain has high unemployment, so if you come from a country outside the European Union, not easy to work here because they try to protect the local employment market. And for Europeans, there's never been a problem. People in the European Union have been able to come down in Spain and work, do whatever they want to do, no questions asked. But for people like me from Australia, people from the United States, people from Canada, people from other non-European or non-EU countries, it's been difficult to get a visa to work in Spain. And the new digital nomad visa is going to be the solution to this problem for a lot of people, hopefully. And basically the idea of this new visa is to attract people to the country, people that can work remotely, people that are not working for Spanish companies. So maybe you're working for a big international company, or you're a freelancer and you work for different companies. This is the visa that is going to best suit you. I think one of the stipulations is that you can only have less than 20% of your income coming from a Spanish company to get this visa. So if you come and work for a Spanish company, it's not going to be the visa for you. But as I said, if you're working for a big multinational company that gives you the flexibility to work remotely just on your laptop, this is going to be the visa for you. Now, the current visas that are in place, a lot of people come to Spain on a tourist visa, and of course after 90 days that visa expires, and the law states that you're not allowed to work in Spain on a tourist visa. It is, as the name suggests, for tourism only. So again, the idea is to create a visa to fill in that gap. Now I'm on my way to a small town or village called Huete, H-U-E-T-E, Huete. As we know in Spanish, the H is silent, so you don't pronounce the H. It's not Huete, it's Huete. And it's the same as the word for peanut in Spanish, cacahuete, but without the caca before it, so Huete. And it's in Castilla-La Mancha, which is a fairly traditional part of the country, and I'm sure this village is going to be a traditional Spanish village. And that's one of the attractions of this visa and these pueblos offering this type of solution for digital nomads or remote workers, is that you can get that authentic Spain experience in one of these villages here in the autonomous community of Castilla-La Mancha, the province of Cuenca. Now we're about 60 kilometers away from Cuenca at the moment, and this particular village is about 40 minutes away by car, I think, from Cuenca capital, and it's about an hour and 20 minutes away from Madrid. And as I said at the beginning of the video, it's the closest village to where I live in Madrid, which is the reason why we're coming here. Now I'll just interrupt the video here to talk about and thank the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. If you are not familiar with a VPN, it stands for Virtual Private Network, and it will protect your internet connection and privacy online. Having a VPN means that you can use the internet safely because your data is encrypted and your online identity protected because your IP address is hidden. So if you are like me and you often connect to public Wi-Fi when you are out and about traveling, a VPN is an absolute must. A VPN will also come in handy at home because you can use the internet anonymously and your browsing history, usernames, password and bank details are kept secure. And for content lovers, having NordVPN will allow you to access websites in other countries that might be geo-blocked here in Spain. For example, Netflix UK, Netflix USA, and BBC iPlayer, to name just a few. All you have to do is connect to a server in the country where you want to access the content, and away you go. You can use NordVPN on up to 6 devices, so you can have it on your phone, your tablet, your desktop, or your laptop computer all at the same time, and it works on both Apple and Android devices. Now, if you want to check out NordVPN for yourself, click the link in the description box to get a 2-year plan, plus 1 additional month free with a huge discount. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So click the link below, take advantage of this special offer, and start your safe internet experience with NordVPN. Now back to the video. Now I'm off the motorway. I'm on a local road here on the way to Huete. I'm in deep Spain, as I said before, the empty Spain, España vaciada. And one of the reasons that a town like this has joined this program, this remote working program, is to try to get life back into the village. As we know, the emptying of Spain, where people move more and more to big cities, bigger towns, is a serious problem here. There's a political platform up and running now called the España Vaciada platform. And as I said, these towns are trying to reverse that trend, if it's possible, by attracting fresh blood, for lack of a better term, into the towns. These are popular places in summer because all of the people that have moved away come back for the summer months to spend time in the pueblo. But for the rest of the year, this time of year, January, it's only the locals there. And I think this particular town is around 2,500 people or something like that. Now, when this program or this platform was announced last year, this Pueblos Acogedores, I think it is, for remote working, they were expecting big things. But from what I've seen on the website, there's only 39 towns in Spain that have signed up for this platform. Obviously there's going to be more in coming years, but at the moment there's only 39, so the choices are a bit limited. And the platform's actually quite good, or the website's actually quite good, because it shows you all of the characteristics of the area, the historical value of these places. Maybe there's a monastery in some of them, some emblematic buildings, things that you can do around the area. Plenty of things to do around this area. You can go to Cuenca City. You can go and visit Roman ruins in a place called, can't remember the exact name, but it's not far away from here. And so there are plenty of things to do. But when you're living in a place like this, you are living in the empty Spain. And that's fairly obvious, as you can see from the views around us. Not a lot of activity going on except for agriculture here. And remember that we're only an hour away from Madrid, more or less, so we're not that far away from the big metropolis here in Spain. Now, the idea when we get to Huete is to have a look around. We'll go for a drive through the town and check out what it has to offer. So we're not far away. All right, so there is Huete in the distance there. Let's have a look at what this town or village looks like. A bit hilly. I'll give it that. If you're going to be walking up that hill every day, you're going to get in shape. So we'll go for a drive through the village and check it out. You can see here a few elderly citizens taking their midday walk. Pretty typical thing to do here. I imagine that this park here would be nice in the spring and summer when there's a few leaves on the trees. And here we go. We run into tractors straight away. So that means that it's a very agricultural place. And one of the characteristics of these towns is that the population is getting older and older. People don't really want to work in places like this, and that's a bit of an issue. Now we'll go for a drive up here, check it out. Apparently there's a castle, so we'll head up to the castle where I'll finish the video. But this is a fairly typical village of the area, I imagine. A typical Conquense or Cuencan village or town. As I said, 2,500 people. And as you can see, there's not a lot of life. There's a bank. We're coming down into I think the center part, and we can see that castle up there on top of the hill, so that's where we're going to go. Hola, ¿qué tal? Para llegar a ese castillo, ¿cómo voy? ¿Hay un camino?
Creo que sí.
Sí, ¿no?
Tiene que subir al centro de médicos, que es subir para arriba y cuando ves el reloj enfrente, a la izquierda y para allá a la derecha y allí sube al camino.
Gracias. We heard the instructions there on how to get there. So we've sort of got to go left here. If we can get through this part of town, the people with all the sticks. It's going to be easy. Not sure if we can, so what I'm going to do is go down here and try and get out of the town. Well, another emblematic building down this street here, so full of surprises so far. Huete, street cleaner. And here, this looks like the part of town where all the action is here. Bars, or two bars at least, bar restaurant. So it's probably a place where you could get something to eat. And some type of church or other type of building here. So, interesting. So it's not an ugly place. It doesn't look too bad. But again, would you be willing to be stuck here 12 months of the year? That's the question. I don't think I'm able to go anywhere here, so I've come to a dead end, I think. So some bad news, I wasn't able to get to the castle by car. You can sort of see it up there in the background. It's not really accessible. It's one of these castles that's in ruins. It hasn't been well kept over the years. So I decided to come to the local train station here. We'll turn around and have a look at that. And as you can see, not a lot of action happening at the local train station either. And that's because this is probably a place where trains run maybe once a day, maybe even a couple of times a week. I've got no idea, but at the moment, no activity at the train station. So we'll turn the camera around again and we'll have a look at the town in the background, and we'll decide if this is a place that you would want to come and live and work remotely here in Spain. I think that it is. It's a little bit off the beaten track. It's not too far from Madrid, as I said, about an hour and 20 minutes away from Madrid, 40 minutes away from the city of Cuenca, which has very good connections with the fast train, so you can get to places like Valencia quickly, Madrid quickly. So in that sense, it's not too bad, and it's a nice little quiet place, and you would be able to experience the true Spain, the real Spain, in a town like this one here, Huete, in Castilla-La Mancha. So I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Let us know if you're thinking about taking Spain up on this offer of the digital nomad visa, if and when it comes out this year in 2022. I think it is, and whether you would be interested in living in a place like this one that I have behind me here in Castilla-La Mancha, or one of the other villages around Spain. There's plenty of them. There's places in Malaga, they're here in Castilla-La Mancha, Castilla-Leon as well, and various parts of Spain that you can find villages like this that are trying to attract digital nomad or remote workers. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the video out as you normally do. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.